back to the SML podcast, Playing the Field, Field Journal 007. I'm here, guest hosted with Rolls Royce. What's going on, brother?
What's up? What's up? Just waiting for the playoffs.
Okay, we got to talk about playoffs, but right now I believe it's the MLB, Major League Baseball, is in their own playoffs. Let's just go ahead and get that out of the air right now. It was just kind of mentioned in chat. I have reviewed the film about the flashing incident. Very, very good for sports. I'm all for it. I'm not ever going to oppress female expression. It's breast cancer awareness. It's all very good, I think, for sports and men everywhere. What do you think? I think the girl on the left had the higher grade myself, but just go ahead and break it down for me.
Um, I kind of have to agree. The one on the left was definitely more out there. She was ready to go. The
She
one on the
was.
right was
She
a
was a little
little
timid.
hesitant.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't like that. I don't like that.
But I just saw in the chat, NYT said that they both were banned now from all MLB games.
Oh, that's just funny.
Which,
It's outrageous.
like we need that in sports.
You do. Ever since Janet Jackson's tip popped out in the halftime show, you just don't get that anymore. You don't get a good flashing. And I think it's good for sports and just morale in general. Sometimes we get a little down in the dumps. Wintertime comes, we start looking at our dad bods, and we need a little something to make us feel better. But awesome stuff there. Anyway, let's get on to the show. The SML is in very good shape right now. Excellent playoff teams across the board. We're gonna break down the AFC. I got the meets 13-2. And this is just as it stands right now. I don't know if the A League is totally updated, but 13-2 are the Ravens. They're averaging 26 points a game, holding their opponents to 13 points a game. 6-1 at home, 7-1 on the road, and a 10-2 conference record as it stands. You got anything to add about meets this year?
He's losing tonight. He's playing tonight. He told me that he wanted me to play first so he could figure out if he needed to start Lamar, but I made sure I'm going to make sure my game waits, so he has to start Lamar.
Good.
Hoping he gets injured.
Absolutely.
But Meats will probably do what he did last year. Nothing.
Wow. Yeah, I think Prime calls him the SML folding chair or lawn chair or something like that.
Yeah, I feel the pain.
So now we move on. Currently ranked number 2, and these you can all flip flop these. Of course, Daddy Leagues, and then what Madden does is its own thing. But the Kansas City Chiefs finished their season 13-3, 28 points for, 18 points against, 8-0 on the road. Very impressive stat there. 5-3 at home and 11-1 in conference. Haas, as we know, we almost lost him. Pneumonia, double pneumonia, AIDS. Very, very bad breakout of herpes, and he was almost joined, the spirits and whatnot on the other side. So, what do you think about the Chiefs?
I played him this season. He's a very good player. I don't know why I could not stop him at all. He wasn't running any difficult plays to stop, but his stick work, he has some nice stick work. He's definitely beatable. I think he should be one over Meats because as of right now I'm sitting at 3, and I'd rather play Meats than him. But
sure,
we'll see what happens.
Now you can abstain, but you're currently the 3, the New York Football Jets, 12-3 at the moment. 32 points for, 23 points against, 6-1 at home, 6-2 on the road, 8-3 in the conference. So I guess you can't really go ahead and make a prediction. Do you want to make a prediction about your playoffs, or you just want to kind of abstain at the moment?
If everything stays the way it is right now, I think me and the Browns will have a very good game. I beat them last season. I haven't played them this season. I think we'll have a very good game. I think I'll pull out a close one, and then I'll probably lose to Haas in the second round.
So, to me, the key of your game has been the running game. Le'Veon Bell, over 2,000 yards rushing. No one's really talked about the Jets. Definitely an underrated team in the AFC side. Not just because you're on the show. I made a few comments here and there about it. Do you think how legitimate is your team in terms of being able to make a push for the Super Bowl?
Having the league MVP is definitely very nice. Definitely very helpful.
Yeah.
It's the defense is a little lacking, like you said. Our points against is 23.
Yeah.
We always have shootouts. Very stressful, but it's good knowing that if they score, I can score. And wish we could make a stop, but for me, it mainly comes down to who has the ball last.
The Colts, primetime, 12-4. 25 points for, 19 points against, 5-3 at home, 7-1 on the road, 6-0 in the division, 10-2 the conference. So apparently, he just no issues taking care of the division this year. There must have been something going on in the conference, 10-2. So maybe there might be a guy in the AFC maybe able to knock him off his horse this year. Um, not not bad numbers, but at the same time, not totally dominant. Not as good as what we've seen at Prime, and obviously 12-4 record reflects that. But you can't count him out, in my opinion. How legit is Prime this year?
Like I say every year, I'm a beat Prime. Never normally works, but I say it every year.
Mm-hmm.
I 5-3 at home. I guess the Sun in
Yeah.
Indy isn't working to his
No,
favor this year.
no, it's the sun's just not coming through the windows like it should. It's kind of been in his eyes, but yeah, of course he's got the cheat code Andrew Luck still because we started basically as soon as
Yep.
the game came out. But
I think I think the Bills, if everything stays the same, I think he's a great player. I think he might knock off Prime in the first round.
yeah, the Bills. That's the next team we got to talk about. 12-4, great segue there. 28 points for, 19 points against, 5-3 at home, 7-1 on the road, and then 4-2 the division, 9-3 in the conference. Not a bad team at all. I mean, if you take a look at the Buffalo Bills, as I see a cat walking through my yard, um, let's just kind of take a look here what the Bills have done. Third in total points a game, 28. Um, Defense, they're, like I said, they're holding points at 19. Not bad. I mean, if you look at the roster, top players, Tre'Davious White, 89 overall. Ed Oliver Jr., 88 overall. Micah Hyde, 88. So really not that great of a roster. So obviously he's a fantastic user. Great
Yes.
player here. Don't write off the Bills. This may be the chance for them to get over the Jim Kelly era in the 90s of just the constant disappointments. But the last team in the AFC, the Cleveland Football Browns, 10-6, 25 points for, 16 points against, 5-3 at home, 5-3 on the road, 5-1 in the division, 9-3 in the conference. What do you got to say about the Browns? You just said it'd be a battle for you, but what's the Browns' case for winning the Super Bowl?
The Browns' case is that defense. Having Myles Garrett off the line and Denzel Ward at corner, arguably one of the best corners in the league. I know very early to jump to, but I really do think he's one of the best corners in the league. That's the case for him to make the Super Bowl.
Who is the best contender? Like actually legit, no bullshit aside. Who's actually going to represent the AFC and the SML this season?
One is Haas and two is the Bills. I honestly think that potentially could be the AFC Championship.
All right, we move on to the NFC. The Seattle Seahawks, 13-2, 25 points for, 16 points against, 6-1 the home, 7-1 on the road, 5-0 the division, 10-1 in the conference. The Seahawks, the Seahawks, Bears, and Eagles, obviously the three best teams in the conference, if not really in the league right now. I've seen great games. Seattle, just fantastic running game, great defense, just all around a good player. What is that, Future Empire? Is the Seahawks this year? He's a great player. I've seen him time and time again. I think when he started the league, he may have been the Dolphins or the Titans. I don't even remember.
Yep.
Great player,
He was
though.
he was because it was right when I joined the league. He was the Dolphins, I was the Patriots, and that's when our rivalry started. I played him this season. It was a hell of a game. 38-34, 38-35 in my favor. That was one of the games where it came down to who had the ball last. It was fun. He's a great player to play. I wish I was in the division with him because I love playing him every year.
The Philadelphia Eagles, Governor, 13-2, 30 points for, 16 points against, 6-2 on the road, 7-0 on the 6-2 at home, 7-0 on the road, 5-1 in the division, 10-2 in the conference. He actually so far has had the greatest spread, the greatest differential in terms of scoring and holding his opponents. So to me, and I've seen that in a few games outside of I think it's just the game he said he didn't feel like playing against the Redskins. I don't know if that was an excuse or if it was legit, but the Eagles, from the games I've seen this year, has been the most dominant team. That would be my NFC favorite right now would be Governor, just because he's been there, done that. Nothing against, I love Future Empire. Oshie, which we'll talk about next, fantastic player, but to me the Eagles have to be the conference favorite. Go ahead and give me a breakdown of the Eagles.
I hate playing him He has a great user. He sends hell of blitzes.
Yeah.
He's one of the hardest people to match up against because you could see him stacking the left side of the box. You block the left, and like four people come from the middle, and then one cornerback from the right, and you're just like, where did they come from?
Right.
So he's one of the hardest players to match up against because you never know what he's going to do on defense.
Speaking of defense, arguably one of the greatest defensive users in the SML is the Chicago Bears owner Oshie. The Bears are 13-2, 25 points for, 13 points against, 7-1 at home, 6-1 on the road, 4-1 in the division, 9-2 in the conference. Like I said, Oshie plays really good defense. He's the Bears. They don't have a lot of great weapons on offense. To me, it's a test. Obviously, this year, the pass rush and all that is really geared in the favor of the Bears. They have Khalil Mack, players like that. And if you look at their top players, Khalil Mack, 99 overall, Eddie Jackson, 93, Tariq Cohen, who is apparently some type of Madden cheat code, 93 overall, Roquan Smith, 91, and Kyle Fuller, 91. So the Bears have some pretty good players, and their user is very good. Like I said, he's very good at user covering. He just covers the field really well, especially last year when you could actually make plays with the linebacker on a consistent basis. Yep. Offense, like I haven't played him. Actually, I did play him this year. Completely different game plan than what he was before. He was very heavy and predicated on the run, short passing, play action, bootlegs. This year, I think he's pretty well balanced. Prime somehow managed to stuff the run in the Super Bowl and came out on top. Oshie definitely a fantastic player and a legitimate threat coming out of the NFC. Go ahead and give me your thoughts.
Yeah, he is a very good player. He reminds me of a sense when I was the Broncos last year or 2 years ago. I think it was 2 years ago. Where when I was the Broncos, I didn't really have much on offense, but it was my defense that was taking me to the playoffs every year.
Yeah.
And it's tough, especially with him and Trubisky and not having that offensive weapons. Is defenses can only take you so far. Like his stats, I think you said 26 points for and 13 points against, something like that.
Yeah, 25 and 13.
It's tough when you have an amazing defense, but it's tough when you can't put up the points to help your defense.
Yeah, no, I agree with that. Number 4, well, it's listed number 4, but really he's number 5. Maybe not. Man, Daddy Leaks has this all fucked up here. So you got the West is Seattle, the East is the Eagles, the North goes to the Bears, and then the East would have to be the Dallas Cowboys. Grams would actually be number 4.
No, because the Eagles are the East.
Oh, yeah, my bad. I fucked that up. Okay, so it's the South. The South's who we need.
So it'd be Saints, right? Is it ZZ?
The Falcons are 8-7 right now. ZZ's 7-8. So as long as NYT doesn't drop the ball,
who knows?
The division winner, or it could be a coin toss and a salad toss between the Eagles and the Saints. NYT definitely been a surprise team. The NFC South, not a whole lot of dominance there. I mean, in terms of playoff teams, they would be the weakest link just because if you look at everyone else that's contending, really, if you look at it, Graham's probably not even going to make the playoffs at 9-6. He's a better team. The Lions, if you throw, that bumps everybody down. So it'd be the Lions become the 6th seed and the Packers would be the 5th seed.
Wow.
So very interesting. Anyway, like I said, NYT, a surprise season, done well, up and down, but had some quality wins here and there. NYT always good for an upset. Give me your opinion on the Falcons.
I can't believe he's actually in playoff contention. I mean that in the nicest way possible. No, I'm just kidding. NYT's a great player. I love busting his balls.
And just in case, also give some thoughts on ZZ because it's kind of up in the air at the moment.
Yeah. But before I get touched to ZZ, I'm going to direct this comment at Mike. Yeah. Being a Panthers fan, this is what I say every time I watch the game. North Turner, just give the ball to McCaffrey. Throw it to him, hand it off. Whatever happens, it's an 11-on-7. McCaffrey will still get you the win. Just give him the ball. But on ZZ, he's been having a rough season this year. I haven't really been following him too much, but last year he came out firing like a cannon, and this year it just hasn't been too hot for him. So I'm praying for him that the NYT chokes his next game and he gets the playoff win.
You think that Saints will be in or the Falcons?
I'm praying for ZZ because I like ZZ more than NYT. But again, who likes Yankees fans? So
Sure. Well, I guess to me also before we switch on that, I think for guys like ZZ myself, uh, like I started off 5-1 and missed the playoffs. So the biggest thing for me is all these damn game updates. The game
oh
keeps changing
yes,
and totally changes the entire. I'm not saying that's the only reason why I lost games. I mean, like even that last game was to the Browns. It's my fault, throwing a couple picks. But there's a bunch of shit in there that doesn't help, And I think the biggest word that describes Madden 20 in a whole is inconsistent. Um,
yeah.
but
You
anyway,
get
like I said,
used.
the fact that like you said, you get used to something, and then they do another title update, and it definitely throws you off. So maybe that's Easy's issue, maybe
Exactly.
not. But anyway, we got two more teams to cover. We got the Packers 10-5, and the redemption out of Lawyer Killer. Packers 10-5, and then the Lions 10-5. Packers 22 points for, 18 points against, 5-3 at home, 5-2 on the road. 3-2 in the division, 8-3 in the conference. Like I said, Lawyer Killer had a terrible season. Season one looked to start that way this year. Very respectable, 10-5. Could be 11-5 or 10-6 potentially. And then the Lions, 23 points for, 18 points against, 3-4 at home, 7-1 on the road, 3-2 in the division, 7-4 in the conference. Both those guys very tough, very good defensive users. Um, and obviously, Lawyer Killer's gotten it done before. So go ahead and give me your insights on those two teams.
Lawyer, I want to apologize for what I said on Prime's podcast about how you probably won't make the playoffs this cycle. I do want to apologize. You came back firing,
Very
so I'm
disrespectful.
happy. I'm happy you made me eat my words on that one. But like you just said, he's an incredible player. Last year or every cycle, he's basically
Mm-hmm.
been dominating with the Falcons. NYT screwed him on that one. Um, but I haven't really followed the Lions much, so I don't know too much about him.
I
I
played
think he just
him, I think, 10 times in the game this year because of all the desyncs. Like I said, he's a legit defensive player. Um, at the same time, in our game, I think his offense was better than his defense, but it just depends on which matchup. Like, I don't know, it's just kind of crazy. Pretty good dude and a good player in my opinion. And like I said, though, some interesting matchups left here in this week 17
yeah.
because big ramifications. Really, like you said, you mentioned the Panthers. They play the Falcons. That's a big week 17 matchup. The Eagles versus the Ravens. That's actually a pretty good game if they play, and really it could be a playoff preview. Um, there was also another Packers Lions. They play week 17. That's a huge game. That could be,
Wow.
fifth or sixth seed. Whether you want to take on, if you want to take the L or not. I mean, really, I don't think you really want to take the loss just because you never know how you're going to get screwed in Madden. But definitely some good matchups to watch. Give me kind of a preview of who you think is going to be in the Super Bowl. You already kind of named your AFC, but give me the SML Super Bowl preview for Season 2, Madden 20.
Oof. I'm gonna be. I think it'll be Future and Haas. I think it'll be the Seahawks and Chiefs. I'm going to go out on a limb here.
Okay. Um, no disrespect to Haas. He's a great player. I don't see him making it to the Super Bowl. In my opinion, I'm still not counting the Colts out until they're knocked out. Prime likes to play the
True.
self-deprecating game of, oh, I'm in a rut. I'm probably done. I got a paper cut. I can't play. Iron cuts iron, and we'll be in that. But I'm picking the Colts to get back again. I've just seen him do it too many times. He's got more championships than anybody in the league. So, I mean, really, he's the Tom Brady. And then for the NFC, I'm just going to go ahead and, man, that's tough. To me, it's between the Eagles and the Bears. I'm going to say Colts-Eagles Super Bowl this year.
Ooh, that'd be a
Very,
good one.
very close, though, between the Eagles and Bears. Obviously, without seeing how anyone's performed in the playoffs, it's a little difficult, but Colts-Eagles this year to see what happens. Do you get any other
Yep.
anything else you want to add to the podcast here?
Meets and Gov play this week 17.
That's what
Right?
Daddy Leagues is telling me.
Why is Meets even questioning starting Lamar or anything like that? He's gonna lose Lamar in there. I ain't. It's gonna be me. I'm gonna get the 2 seed. Haas is gonna get the 1 seed. It's gonna be all good.
All right. Well, we got a pretty confident Jets owner. Good luck, man. Thanks for hopping on
Thank
the
you.
podcast. Hopefully
Thank
everything
you for
pans
having me.
out for you. Be sure that you're pounding the rock, man. That's all I can say. The hashtag on Twitter was YPass, and I'm gonna stick true to that. I mean, you got the league MVP, a 2,000-yard rusher. I think if you play bread and butter and protect the football, run well, the Jets can make a deep run. Good luck to Rolls.
Yeah.
Good luck to everyone. Thanks for tuning in. If you check us out for the first time, check us out on simmaddenleague.com. Check us out on daddyleagues.com/SML. We've got podcasts. I believe we're pretty much just putting them all on YouTube now. Prime and ZZ have kind of been MIA lately. ZZ's got a lot going on. So that's why we're back with playing the field. Hopefully be a little bit more consistent. Talk to the guys. Let me know who wants to join the next podcast, what you want to see. Save the tatas, and have a great day.